Most sellers believe that buyers evaluate a home based on two things: features and price. They think that if the kitchen is upgraded and the price is fair, the house is going to sell. But that belief is exactly why so many great homes sit on the market for months, while lesser houses sell in one weekend. I've helped hundreds of homeowners sell in some of the toughest markets in the country, and I see this mistake over and over again, that sellers think they're selling a product in a vacuum, but in reality, you're selling a choice in a lineup. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the comparison framework to make sure your home isn't just an option, but the only option. I get why we think about features. You live in your house, you see the custom crown molding, the high-end appliances, and the brand new water heater. You see all of the details, but buyers don't evaluate homes the same way that owners do. They don't look at your emotional investment. They look at it relative to everything else they saw that Saturday. They use what I call a comparison framework. They're actually comparing your house to three specific things: the homes they just saw, the homes they're about to see, and the ideal deal that they believe exists at your price point. And if you don't win in those three comparisons, your features just don't matter. You're not competing with perfection, you're actually competing with their expectations. Let's talk about the first comparison, the homes they just saw. This is called an anchor bias. If a buyer just walked out of a house that was perfectly staged, but slightly smaller, and then they walk into your house, which is large but cluttered, they don't see extra square footage as value. They actually see it as work. They're mentally carrying the feeling of the last house into your house. And if your home doesn't immediately feel like an upgrade and experience, the logic of your extra bedroom or your better roof actually gets lost. The first 30 seconds of the tour must beat the memory of the house they last visited. The second comparison is the homes they're about to see. When a buyer is touring 5 houses in a day, they're looking for a reason to cross one off the list so they can focus on the winner. Most sellers try to win by adding more features, but in this stage, you actually win by removing friction. So if your home has a weird smell, a loud paint color, or a door that sticks, you just made their decision easy. You became the no so that they could get to the yes at the house down the street. So we're going to talk about how to sanitize your home story so there's nothing for a buyer to reject. The third comparison is the hardest one, the best deal that they believe exists. Every buyer has a dream version of their home at their price point. If they're spending $600,000, they have a mental image of what that should look like. And if your home falls short of that mental image, even if your price is technically fair based on the math, the buyers will hesitate. And in real estate, hesitation is the silent killer of equity. Hesitation leads to lowball offers, it leads to difficult inspections, and it leads to "I need to think about it." And that thinking usually leads to them buying your neighbor's house instead of yours. So how do we win the comparison framework? It really comes down to three things. The first is going to be aggressive neutralization. You have to remove your personality so the buyers can fit theirs in. This isn't about decluttering, it's really about moving any of the visual static that makes the home feel like it belongs to someone else. The second is going to be the narrative control. Your online presentation needs to tell a complete story of the lifestyle, not a list of rooms. If the photos don't show how the garden connects to the kitchen, the buyer can't build the comparison in their head before they arrive to your house. The third is the value gap. You have to be priced so that when buyers compare the active competition to your house, it looks like the obvious best buy. If you're priced exactly the same as the other 3 houses, you aren't the best buy, you're just another option. I see sellers try to fix this by lowering their price after 30 days, but here's the problem with that. By then, the comparison set has changed. If your house didn't win in its category when it was fresh, lowering the price later doesn't fix the problem. It just confirms to the buyer that something was wrong with it. And you don't want to be the house that's considered the discounted house. You want to be the best value house. If your house doesn't feel like the best option in its category on day one, then adding features or cutting price later is kind of a band-aid on a broken strategy. If you want to sell your home for the most money, you have to stop looking at it as a list of features and start looking at it through the eyes of a buyer who is comparing yours to everyone else's. And if you're getting ready to list and you want to know exactly how your home stacks up against the current comparison set in your specific neighborhood, I can help. Click the link in the description, download my listing launch book, or send me a message. Let's make sure that you're the house that gets the offer, not the one that helps the neighbor sell theirs.